Well, pressure is mounting on government to extend and increase the COVID-19 social distress grant. Human rights organisation Black Sash and the hashtag Pay the Grants campaign have been demonstrating this week, pushing for that very cause, and we're hoping to be able to connect with them sometime during the course of the programme between now and 3 o'clock. We were supposed to speak to them now, but we're going to re-establish contact so we can bring you that conversation. One of the things that they are pushing for example, is for the benefit for the unemployed to be pushed to an amount of 585 Rand a month. Currently, the temporary grant was an amount of 350 Rand a month. Let's discuss this. I'm told we can now connect with Black Sash's regional manager, Thandiwe Zulu. Thandiwe, a very good afternoon to you. We'd lost you there for a minute. The deadline for the expiry of this grant was today. SASSA has already confirmed that it does end today. So what does that mean for your campaign?
Our campaign will continue. The reason being, we're not only campaigning for the continuity of the SRD and only. We are also actually looking at it in a long-term view with regards to it being a permanent grant that would be like your basic income support for those that are between the ages of 18 and 59, who at the current moment are not in any form of social assistance. Yet we know the plight that most of our South Africans are going through in relation to poverty, in relation to unemployment, and being unable to provide for themselves as per the Constitution states. So now the state has the obligation to actually make a provision in terms of the social security system. So this was one way that the state has come to the fore with regards to that age group. But the campaign did not only start when we had COVID. The campaign has been there, and we have been actually engaging the government in this regard. So the termination today, it is, I have to say, a dire situation in the sense that we've got more than 8 million people that will be going into the cracks of poverty, in the true sense of poverty.
And Thandiwe, you say you've been engaging with government. From the interviews that I've heard in the past, the Social Development Minister, Thandiwe Zulu, was not in any way opposed to a possible permanent grant for the unemployed. The issue currently is that Treasury has said there's simply no money to fund such a thing. And by your estimate, do you think it'll happen, if not this year, at least in the next 5 years?
I think 5 years, if we're pushing it to 5 years, then we would probably not have a population that would be healthy. In the immediate effect, when you take into consideration that even with regards to what's currently happening, there's always been this argument that there are no funds available. And we've always opposed that. When you look at our systems as they currently stand, in relation to like corruption. If government can be serious about tackling corruption, there is money that is available. And if we are also to look at the corporate taxes being like enforced in the true sense of it, that all corporates pay their tax in accordance to what they are supposed to pay, we would actually be having funds. And in actual fact, in our proposal, we've also done some study in terms of like proposing a social security tax, a social security tax, which will be ring-fenced, particularly to look into the issues of those that are not able to maintain themselves, given the high levels of poverty, the high levels of unemployment. And I mean, we're talking more than 11 million people that are not employed. And in the next 2, 3, 5 years, the government would not be able to provide employment for those people. For the past 20 years, they have not been able to provide. Yet, there are other ways in which the government can actually create the fiscus and tighten where it's loose for the fiscus to be available.
Thandiwe Zulu, good to speak to you today on eNCA. Thank you very much for your time.